Hey guys, and thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, we'd really appreciate it if you do. Today we're going to take a look at the Legrand Easy Wall Rack. So here's the rack fully assembled. I've already installed one on the wall. There's not a lot of documentation on this and a lot of reviews, so I thought I'd show it to y'all since I had trouble kind of seeing what I was getting. The biggest oversight that I've found so far is that there's nothing going across the back here, so the sides are able to move a lot left to right when you're trying to get it mounted, so it's hard to get it level and true. And in a lot of the pictures it shows supports across the back on the top and bottom, but those simply don't exist. It does come in assembled but folded up, so it's missing a bolt from each side and corner so that it can fold. So you unfold it, add the additional bolts, and then it's assembled. To swing it out, you do have to take out a bolt top and bottom on one same side and then pull the pin, and then it'll swing out, and I'll show you all that in a bit. I'll do a time-lapse video of getting it installed up on the wall as well. All right, you can see we got the rack up. I started by pinning this top right corner into a stud, putting a level on this side, and then pinning the bottom corner. Then I used a tape measure across the front edge, got a measurement here, and then tried to match it widthwise in the back since there's no support to true the back. Then I did the exact same thing on the top edge, did the front, tried to make the back match. You can see we're pretty darn level. It was a bit crooked once I got it up there, so I relaxed all the bolts on the corners, which is 8 of them, so that I could kind of shift it around and it would kind of true itself once it was hung on the wall. This is 18-inch on center, so these left ones aren't in anything. You can see I glanced off the stud here, so I ended up going at the bottom and going at an angle this way to kind of toenail it since all the weight's going to be on that right side. We're jumping ahead a couple of weeks now. You can see I've got the left rack full of network equipment. The right rack is full of audio equipment. Not completely done yet. We still have some wire management to do and some longer cables to purchase, but we're getting pretty close. Let's look at getting the rack swung out. There's bolts on all the corners, but I only want to swing it one way. So I've got a pin on each side and a bolt on each side I'm going to take out. I've backed this bolt out. I'm going to pull this pin. I'm not going to leave it in there so it doesn't fall back in while we're working on it. Down here, I've started this bolt and I've got this pin. We're going to leave that till we're ready to go. So I'm just going to back that out. And now we should be backed out enough. There's threads in here and a captive nut. This is threaded as well. So if you get those off kilter, you could cross thread. I'm pretty sure that's how somebody broke that bolt right there. I'm going to pull this pin out and then we can pull the whole rack out. It does sag a bit because I've got a lot of weight in here, especially with this Sono shelf that's almost too deep to fit. So I actually have to lift the shelf up, or the whole assembly up, to be able to get around it. But once I do, I can pull it out, work on everything from the back really well, and then when I'm done, I can push it shut. I do like to be careful because of that lip. And then as you can see, it does sag a bit right here. So I do have to lift up pretty well on it to get it in there. I'll put the pin back in, and then I'll go to the top and put that pin back in as well. Now when you're not going to be moving this thing time and time again, I do recommend tightening these bolts up. And again, you do want to make sure that they are lined up properly. So I like to just make sure this is good before I start hitting on it. And you can see it did not push away much, so we're in good shape. You can tighten that down. Of course, we're going to do the same on the top. And once they're tight, it's quite sturdy. It's really just while you're swinging it that gives you a little bit of lean and a little bit of being off kilter. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. And if you have anything you want to add that I didn't include, please put that in the comments as well. I'm always glad to learn something new. Thanks.